Hello and welcome to our latest edition of West Coast XE. I am your host, Ken Martinez. If you're watching this episode, you're watching it on YouTube. There's a subscribe button above the YouTube channel there. If you could click on subscribe, that would be awesome. It alerts you of the newest episodes that come out, and it helps support us. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please click on the follow button. That also helps a lot too. We really appreciate your support with us as we're doing cross-country and track meets throughout the year and taking pictures and providing interviews and all kinds of stuff throughout the year. So thank you so much. In this week's episode, we're interviewing Marie Davis Markham. Marie is one of the co-founders of Wildwood Running. And this weekend on Saturday, February 28th at Lincoln High School, starting at 4:30, they're having their fourth annual Wildwood Mile. And so she's going to talk about what goes on for that, how you sign up, and just the history of it. It talks about Wildwood Running as an organization. And so you'll learn quite a bit from Marie as she will talk to us in a few minutes. Last weekend, I went to Ventura County. That's where I grew up. Got to see my mom and dad, which was fantastic. And I also went to a local meet in Moorpark High School called the Westlake Moorpark Distance Carnival. I took pictures of the 800, the 16, and the 3200. I have photos up on our website at westcoastxc.com. If you go to our Instagram account, you can go to our bio and you can find the photo galleries there. Also, if you do go to the photo galleries, you'll see that in the 800 girls race, Delaney Naparella of Oaks Christian ran a 2:21.70, very fast time. I want to make sure you know that that was the opening weekend of Southern Section Racing in California, the Southern California region. So these are really fast times for the first week of the season. In the boys 800, Vin Kruger of Oaks Christian ran a meet record of 154.64. In the 1600, Anais Cruz of Westlake, one of the host schools, ran 5:07.46 to win the 1600. Vigo Bortolin of Foothill Technology ran 4:18.39, setting a new meet record in the boys 1600. And in the girls 3200, Jenna Murray of Moorpark ran 11:11.99 in the 3200, and she is also one of the host schools at Moorpark High School. She runs for Moorpark High School. In the 3200, Ethan Barak of Taft High School out in the San Fernando Valley, the LA section, ran 10:17.95. We've got pictures of all those winners and many other runners that raced during Saturday's meet at the Westlake Moorpark Distance Carnival. Head over to our website, check out those photos. And, behind me, just behind my head here, let me see if I point the right way, is Fernando Mendoza. I coached him. Oop, I can't do it. Back in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. And I went to Ventura. I went to the Ventura Marathon, too. I saw him racing. It was great. I went to see my daughter run the Ventura Half Marathon. So, I had like a running weekend with the Westlake Moorpark Distance Carnival. Then went to see the Ventura Half Marathon. Also, the Ventura Marathon was also during that same event, and saw some really fast runners. So it was a fun event. It was great to be out in the sun in Southern California. I look forward to heading back to California later on in March. So now let's talk to Marie Davis Markham of Wildwood Running and learn more about the Wildwood Mile. Well, we're very happy to have Marie Davis Markham, one of the co-founders to Wildwood Running. Hey, welcome, Marie.
Thanks for having me, Ken. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks for coming on. You have a big event this Saturday in Portland, Oregon, the Wildwood Mile. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, absolutely. We are in our fourth edition of the Wildwood Mile. And really, essentially, it's an event put on to support girls and women in running. And the idea is, using the whole network of the Portland area and beyond to come together and race a mile. And it's one of those things where I go back to my all-comer meet days, when I was 10 years old, 12 years old, where Everyone's allowed on the infield. Everyone's cheering everyone on. There's just heats and heats and heats of miles happening. And that's kind of like what we're going for. We want to honor the people who are showing up to do their best on that day, whether it's someone who's trying to run a 440 something mile or someone who's running an 8 minute mile. Maybe we have women who are coming back who haven't run a mile since PE class, as a
Mhm.
running with their daughter for the first time. So really just creating this like cool event that supports girls and women to love the sport of running, but then also feels really empowering as they step on the track and then walk away from it as well.
So it's this Saturday,
Yep.
and what time and where do we go?
Yeah. So it's this Saturday. It starts at 4:30 at Lincoln High School here, right downtown in Portland, Oregon. And we'll start with some community heats. So those are basically heats of people who know they want to run with a friend. Maybe they've never run a mile before. Maybe it's someone who wants to be in a less competitive environment. And so we'll probably have 2 to 3 of those heats. And then after that, we'll get into the competitive miles. And every 10 minutes, we'll just click off another mile, ending with the fastest mile of the night. So we're hoping, yeah, I don't know how late. We'll probably go till around 7:30. Just depends on what the entries look like when we close registration.
And when is the registration closing?
Yeah, so registration is going to close on Wednesday at 8 p.m. And so that's for the competitive heats. If you want to run one of the community races that are at the beginning, you can register day of at the meet for $15. But if you want to get in a competitive heat, you need to register by Wednesday at 8 p.m.
And so if you register Wednesday night at 8 p.m., what's the cost?
Yeah, it's only $10. We really want to be inclusive to everyone. So yeah, it's a $10 fee. Day of, it's $15. So yeah, it's pretty simple. You just head to athletic.net. You can go to our webpage, wildwoodrunning.org as well, and that'll direct you right to the registration page.
So at Lincoln High School, I want to mention that's your alma mater.
Yes, yeah,
Go
yeah,
Cardinals.
yep.
And also want to mention too that about maybe what 3 years ago, 2 years ago, Lincoln had a facelift and was kind
Hmm.
of redone. Doesn't look like the school you went to,
Oh, not at
and
all.
has a brand new track or
Yeah.
pretty new track.
Yeah. Yeah, we the first year we hosted this event, we hosted it at Lewis and Clark College, which was awesome. And Lincoln wasn't open at that time. And we kind of thought about, do we want to stay at Lewis and Clark? Do we want to go to Lincoln? I'm an assistant coach at Lincoln High School, so it felt natural to be able to head to Lincoln. Robin, who is also a co-founder at Wildwood, was a coach at Central Catholic who doesn't have a track. So we didn't really have an option there. But one of the things that we really think about in everything we do is accessibility and inclusivity. And there's a Max line. There's buses, TriMet right there. It's a little easier to get to Lincoln High School than it is to Lewis and Clark. It's more in the city. It feels more accessible, doesn't feel as far away. So that was one of the big reasons we pivoted to Lincoln. And it was, I mean, I think Wildwood Miles was the first, I think it was the first meet at the new Lincoln High School, which was pretty cool.
It is
Big
pretty cool.
cityscape right behind
Yeah,
you.
I was going
It's
to
so
mention
pretty.
that. It is
Yeah.
quite a beautiful sight. One end, you have the school that's like, is it 4 stories tall, five
Yeah, I
stories
think it's
tall?
5 stories. Yeah.
5 stories tall.
Yeah.
That's neat
Yeah.
looking. And then
Yeah.
the other direction, you get the Portland city, landscapes,
Yeah.
skyscapes. Yes,
Yeah.
it looks really great.
That's beautiful.
Have you checked out the weather? I haven't checked out the weather for
Yeah.
Saturday.
It's going to be great. It's going to be like low 50s, so not super warm for the high that day and no rain. So
Oh, perfect.
I haven't looked since yesterday and I'm not going to look again because I'm just going to
Okay.
ignore it.
You don't want to jinx it. So let
Nothing
me ask,
there's nothing I can do about it,
there's
right?
nothing. It's February still.
Yeah.
You kind of gave us a little bit of the taste of the origin of the Wildwood Mile.
Yeah.
So you and Robin were, doing the Wildwood running, and
Yeah.
then you guys thought, well, what else can we do?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, it's kind of a fun story. We're always thinking about how community is huge to us. Like Wildwood Running is based on education and providing girls and coaches knowledge on the journey of a girl in running, but community is a huge piece of that. And we were talking with Matthew Burrow, who was the Lewis and Clark coach at the time, and he said, "I have this idea. Like, I would love to do a girls only, women only track and field meet. And that to us was a cool idea, but a very big event, right? Like all these different events, throwing events, jumping events. And so we talked about paring it down. And then we came up with this idea of like, let's do the miles. Let's do 1 mile, heat after heat after heat, It's in the off season. It's really hard to do anything in the summer with kids traveling all over the place. We can't do it in season because people already have all their meets loaded up. So let's just focus on kind of one space and let's have it be the mile. So really we started that with Matt Burrow, which was a fun way to start. And then we've just been able to continue it on. We've added things as well, like last year we had a 4x4 that we added to the end, so a mile relay, still in the mile
Hmm.
world. And we had, I think, 13 heats of girls and women. Like people were like, "Oh, are you on my team? Are you on my team?" So we ended up having like matching wristbands so that they could, when people were coming in, they were like looking at their wrist to find out if that was their teammate or whatever. And then we had teams involved as well. So it's been really cool to see it evolve and to see adding new things in as well.
And during the wintertime, I was looking on my Instagram account and I saw Wildwood Running posting about many
Yeah,
Wildwood miles throughout the year. I went, whoa, you guys are getting so big and so
yeah,
popular. And
yeah.
one of them you had in January in Southern California. Can you tell us about how this is sort of catching on throughout
Yeah.
the country?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the miles are pretty like it's a pretty unique experience, right? Like if anyone's ever run an all-comers meet, it's just that feeling of like being part of something that's bigger than what you're doing. And these days when you go to big meets, right? Like a lot of them are focused on the top 1% of 2% of kids, right? Like you have to have all these standards to get in. And they're fantastic, but they're, only certain people in the infield or only certain people here. And so we really wanted to create a space which aligns with our mission, which is like all girls, no matter what pace, what level, what ability, like you want to be out there running. How can we create this for you? So when we created this event, it was just this feeling of all these people together. And last year, one of my good friends that I used to compete against in high school, Julia Stamps, had brought her daughter up to run. And Julia is now in the event space where she's putting on events for running brands. And she was like, Marie, this is like my favorite event I've ever been to as a runner. Who knows if that's true, but that's what she said. And she's like,
Mhm.
you've got to get this to other cities. And we were already doing a very small version in the Woodlands in Houston, Texas. And so we sat down and Julia and her crafty mind helped us kind of come up with like, what might that look like? How might we expand cities? And so we had a list of about 13 different cities, and we really decided to narrow in on like people who love Wildwood, people who support Wildwood, friendships, right? Like coaches in our space. And so, yeah, so now we're gonna, besides here at Lincoln High School in Portland, we're gonna go to 6 other cities. Hopefully, maybe in 2027, we'll get to 10. But it's been an endeavor to create a playbook where the events look similar. They're all going to have their own nuance. We did host the one at Miracosta High School in Manhattan Beach, and it's early. It was January 24th. Like we're right here in Portland. We're, 2 days before the season starts. Like
Mhm.
official practice is March 1st. Like kids are kind of getting ready. Like they're getting antsy to test themselves. Some of them were running in the indoor national meets 2 weeks later. So like they're ready to like do a little rust buster, but in Manhattan Beach, it was very much community driven. People were running together. Like it wasn't, maybe they didn't have the higher competitive range at the front, but they had people trying as hard as they could and doing the work that they could. So they're going to look different in all the different cities, and that's pretty exciting. But I think it'll have kind of a blueprint that's really inclusive and the same throughout all the events.
So head to your website, head to your
Yeah,
Instagram account as
yeah,
you have some of the dates have been rolled out, some are to be announced, and
yeah,
so Wildwood Running could be in your
yeah,
area
yeah,
sometime this year and maybe even next year. And
yeah, yeah.
how
We're
involved are
excited.
you in the other ones? Are you involved at the other location?
So yeah, so right with the planning, absolutely. Like we've been like nose deep in like creating just kind of we call it our playbook so that there is some similarities throughout all weaved throughout all of them. But we were able to bring someone on who's our program manager. She's one of our board members. She's a volunteer. She's amazing. She's coming out flying. She's from Indianapolis, so she's flying out for the Wildwood Miles to see her first one this weekend. So she's really going to help us kind of pinch that together.
Mhm.
And then we're talking with, other groups who want to help support us along the way. So we're trying to keep keep our authenticity, which is really important to us, but expand it to ways that feels really good. Like I could see Boulder, Colorado, that space being like a really large event because of the community. And then we have one in Bentonville, Arkansas. Who knows if that's going to be as big? Maybe it will. Maybe it'll be a huge community event. So we'll just kind of get to see how they all roll out.
And you've touched on this with several of your answers, but I'll ask it anyway, which is, can you explain to our audience the mission of Wildwood Running?
Yeah. So really our mission started as coaches and runners ourselves. I've been running since I was 8 years old and it's sometimes at a high level and sometimes not. And really knowing the nuances of what it's like to be a girl in running and how that trajectory is different than boys. And I was a somewhat new coach. I think I'd probably been coaching for 2 or 3 years at the time. And I had met Robin McGillis, who's my business partner. And, we were having conversations around like, there's just not enough information on supporting our girls in running and how that might look different. We know research and for women in sports is so much less than what we're seeing for men in sports. And so we were like, let's just host a clinic. Let's bring experts in. We want to learn. Other people are going to want to learn. And so we created this mission off of, or we created our clinic off of this idea of like, how can we support girls understand their journey, really education based. And then a month later, COVID hit and things kind of went crazy and we
Mhm.
figured our way. But yeah, so now we are very much focused on workshops, clinics, camps that are really talking to girls about how they can stay in running, how they can love running as their body changes, the mental health pieces, the menstrual health pieces, navigating puberty, all of those things are really important to us. And then in turn, we have the miles, which is really fun as well because these girls are going to camps together, workshops together. Now they're showing up on the line. And, I think I looked an hour ago and we had over 20 girls listed at 6 minutes exactly, right? So
Mhm.
all those girls are going to stand on the line together, like working together to see if they can break 6 minutes, right? And that's kind of a cool thing
Yeah,
to be able to take what they're doing in their education and understanding their body and like applying it on the track. It's so cool.
that is really cool. It is a great event.
Yeah.
I really enjoy going to it every
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
and the new setting there at Lincoln High School. It's really nice.
Yeah. It's wonderful. So
You
we're
guys have a
lucky. Yeah.
what's that?
We're lucky that Lincoln is supporting and
Yes,
helping host that. Like that's
yes,
huge for us. Yeah.
yeah, very
Yeah.
lucky.
Yeah.
And you are a busy person because like 6 days later, you guys are hosting
Yeah.
your annual fundraiser. I went to it
Yes.
last year. It was awesome.
Yeah.
On March 6th. Can you talk to us a little bit about the your fundraiser a
Yeah.
week later?
Yeah. So we're a nonprofit, and that's really important to us as we navigate, keeping costs low. I've mentioned accessibility and inclusivity and all of that, but you look at like our summer camp and if you look at the average of summer camps in the Pacific Northwest, they're, around just over $1,000 and ours is just over 700. So that's a goal of ours is to keep our costs as low as we can, but that is driven by donations, right? It's driven by people funding this work. So if anyone asks for a scholarship, we always give one. I mean, we have them do their due diligence and fill out paperwork to show that they actually really want to come. But yeah, we provide scholarships for everyone. I mean, this event, we could be charging $30 a person easily. But we want to charge $10. Like we want to be able to cover our costs, to be able to know that everyone can feel included. So yeah, our fundraiser is really an extension of that. Last year, we were able to grow our programming in such great ways. We had instead of 1 week of summer camp, we had two. We're now starting a new program through our coaches clinics. We get a lot of coaches saying like, can you come to my city? And which is really cool, but with a two-woman show, that's challenging. So we now have a grant and also some donations that are getting us to 5 cities this year, where we're going to be able to take our content and support it in different cities around the country. So the fundraiser is super fun. We have Emily Infield who's coming to talk. We have fun raffle, all these awesome experiences and products that are donated that people can win or bid on. It's a cool. The food was amazing last year. I was so
Great.
impressed.
It was really
Yeah.
good.
So yeah, March 6th, next Friday already is our big event. We're really excited about it. So we have pretty big goals to be able to continue scaling and growing our programming.
And they can go to the website and learn more about how
Yeah.
to sign up and how to donate.
Exactly. Yeah. So you go to wildwoodrunning.org. You can find the miles page there, but then the fundraising page as well. If you're not at the fundraiser, there's also we're going to do a virtual fundraiser as
Okay.
well for people who can't attend. So there'll be an option to do that. It's already open actually as well. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I went last year, and Portland has an amazing running community. There's all
yeah,
these people I've known for a very long time for different reasons, whether it was my girls running at middle school or elementary school, or
yeah,
whether it was my coaching from a long time ago, or it's just there's all these people that are so great in Portland that support
yeah.
running in different
Yeah.
ways.
And I think too, fundraisers are challenging because it's hard to show up knowing oh, this organization would like me to donate money. But sometimes just being in the room, right? It's
Mhm.
supporting the cause in itself. Like being someone who's I align with this, being someone who's talking to other people, can hear the message and then walk away and share it with the person down the road or the person they sit next to at a track meet. Like that's just as important as, handing dollars to an organization for sure. Yeah.
Well, you guys are such an inspiration to me. You guys are doing such
Thank
great
you.
work, and I just how much bigger this is getting every year. It's so
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you, Ken.
So excited about Saturday. I'll be there to take pictures.
Great.
And just to remind people that the deadline for the faster
Yep.
races is on Wednesday night at 8.
Yep.
But for the community races, you can sign up day of. But
Yep.
if you do the community race, you save $5 if you do it by Wednesday too. Is that right?
Yeah, totally. And it just helps us with seating and numbers.
Mhm.
We actually one thing I forgot to mention earlier is we're moving one of our goals through all the miles through the 7 cities is for them to be girl led. So coaches would support, but Wildwood in Portland has been, we already have the blueprint, right? We've been doing it for a couple years now. We have the heat structure, the 4x4, all of that. But this year we have 6 girls who are leading this kind of charge. And so it's fun to see what they've come up with. They have a glam station where there's sparkles
Mhm.
and ribbons. They have a sign making, like a photo booth area. They have this playlist that's 4 hours and 25 minutes long or something. And they've decided that the 4x4 is now going to be a blue jean 4x4. So
Oh, I
they're
saw that.
going to
Yeah.
wear their blue jeans. So it's just really cool and inspiring. Like, why, if this event is for girls, why shouldn't girls be planning it? So,
Mhm.
yes, come early. Like, we made sure we have enough products for everyone. The girls helped design the shirt and stuff like that. So, it's really the goal is if we're creating this for them, they should be helping. And I just met with them last night via Zoom, and I'm so excited to see all of it come together. A lot of little touches. So, be great.
All right, so we're
Yeah.
talking Saturday night starting
Yep.
at 4:30 at Lincoln High School, downtown Portland. Go to the Wildwood Running website or athletic.com to sign up.
Okay.
And if not, if you're not in shape or you're not feeling up to it, just come and watch. That's just
Yeah.
the best part.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing. I should have mentioned this. I keep adding things on. The Lincoln boys are hosting a run for high schoolers around the area. So they're going to start a run at 2:30, run around a loop around downtown, the waterfront, and then watch the miles afterwards. So bringing people together in all sorts of ways is really fun. So we're excited to have the boys support as well. So
2:30 run before the
yeah,
races. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Well, Maria, I sure appreciate you coming on. I know you got lots going on this week, and I look forward to seeing you and Robin and all the gals on Saturday night at Lincoln High School.
Awesome. Thank you, Ken. Thanks for
You're
having me
welcome.
on.
Oh, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
I want to thank Marie Davis Markham of Lincoln High School and of Wildwood Running, one of the co-founders of Wildwood Running, for coming on for our latest episode, talking about the Wildwood Mile, which is happening Saturday, February 28th at Lincoln High School, starting at 4:30 all the way till it ends, with lots of different heats depending on your ability level. For female athletes, as you did mention, there's a male men's just shakeout run before the event at 2:30 if you want to join that also. And she also mentioned that this event is expanding throughout the United States. They had one in Southern California back in January, and they'll have others throughout the United States. So go to their website at wildwoodrunning.org and check out their different events that are happening throughout the year for the Wildwood Mile. And also they have a fundraiser coming up in March, and they have their running camps. They also have clinics. So go check out their website, learn more about it. And by the time this airs, this will be the day of the deadline for registration, but you can register the day of the meet on Saturday. Because we'll be at Lincoln High School, because Lincoln High School is in Portland, Oregon. And Portland, Oregon is on the West Coast, and the West Coast is the best coast. We'll see you next time.